everybody. This is Doug Fine from Defined Performance Solutions. And I want to give you a little information about Kevin Eikenberry, my guest for this webcast. Gentleman is Kevin Eikenberry. He is the owner and founder of the Kevin Eikenberry Group in Indianapolis. And before we go to our discussion together, I want to read a bio about Kevin. Kevin Eikenberry is a recognized world expert on leadership development and learning and is the Chief Potential Officer of the Kevin Eikenberry Group. He spent more than 25 years helping organizations across North America and leaders from around the world on leadership, learning, teams, and teamwork, and communications, as well as other things. Twice he's been named by Inc.com as one of the top 100 leaders and in management experts in the world. He's been included in many other similar lists. He's the author, co-author, or a contributing author to nearly 20 books, including Remarkable Leadership and bestseller From Bud to Boss, Secrets of the Successful Transition to Remarkable Leadership. And he did that book with Guy Harris. He also wrote The Long Distance Leader, Rules for Remarkable Remote Leadership, and he did that book with Wayne Termel. His blog is consistently ranked among the world's best, most read, and most shared on leadership. So we're going to go to our interview with Kevin Eikenberry. Enjoy it. Good morning, everybody. My name is Doug Fine. I work for Defined Performance Solutions, and I'm thrilled today to have Kevin Eikenberry here with me. He is with the Kevin Eikenberry Group, and he's coming to us from Indianapolis, Indiana, and I'm down here in Augusta, Georgia. And Kevin, thank you. I'm so thrilled to meet you and have this opportunity to get with you.
Hey, I'm excited to be here. Glad to have a chance to talk about some of my favorite topics.
Yes.
You're going to grill me, so I'm sitting back and I'm ready for the onslaught. No, seriously, I'm excited. I'm glad to be here. And
great. Let me get my clock started. Let me get my clock. Yeah. Let me get my clock started. We're going to have about 9 or 10 minutes for this grilling. Okay. Let me get it going here. And away we go. Kevin, who do you work best with? Who are your ideal clients?
Well, first of all, pretty much every organization in the world wants and needs more effective leaders. But our perfect clients are those that have decided they want to invest in doing that. And they don't just mean invest in money, although if no one would pay us, that would be a problem. But we are interested in and work most effectively with organizations that say, hey, we've got a business problem or challenge that we need to meet, and we know that having more effective leaders will help us meet that challenge. And we're ready to invest our time and our talent and our people in making that happen. And so that person could be anywhere in the organization, from a senior leader, to an L&D professional, to a business leader, in a division.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What is your typical company size that you work with? Is it all over the map?
It's all over the map. We just did some work a few months ago looking at the last 5 years, and it is all over the map. But I would say that probably we like most working with organizations or parts of organizations in the 5,000 employee or less range. Why? Not because we don't like the bigger organizations, but because that's where typically we can have the most impact and help the most directly. If we work with lots of really big organizations, but often it's with a division, a part of a geographic part of the world or something that's got a little more of a range around it. Yeah.
Well, 5,000 sounds awfully big to me. And you said, there's way bigger companies.
And we have way bigger customers than that. I could give you names of people that everyone's heard of that we've worked with.
That's awesome.
But oftentimes, smaller organizations.
Well, let's talk about what you said. These companies come to you because they want to change. They want their leaders to get better and to develop them. So, but what would you say in general is the problem you help them solve?
We are really largely in the leadership learning business. So we are in the business of helping leaders get better to make a bigger difference in the world for themselves, for their teams, for their organizations, and for the world. So in general, that's the situation, right? So in terms of the business problem, it could be any number of things. It's often around growth. It could be around a large organizational change. It could be around after mergers and acquisitions. It could be around company culture shift, where we now know we need something different from our leaders than we've asked of them before, anything like that.
Okay. What's the common mistake that people might make when they're trying to solve that problem, if you will, without you?
Oh, well, sometimes even with us, they think that they can write a check for a workshop and solve the problem.
Gotcha.
Right, that the solution to this problem is send everybody to a workshop, and now we'll have better leaders. And anyone who's ever been to a leadership workshop will know that is probably not going to work, at least not by itself alone. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the workshop, ours or any number of our colleagues who deliver them, but learning is a process. Training is an event.
Gotcha. And I imagine that when clients say, "Well, Kevin, just give us a couple of workshops," you probably go, well, what do you say in that instance?
Well, a couple of things. It depends. It depends on several things. The first thing that we're going to do is try to understand what the need is, because if someone comes and says, "Can you deliver a workshop?" The answer, of course, could be yes, but the real thing is that that's an opportunity for us to understand what's really going on, so that is a workshop what they really need. So if all we have is one tool in our toolbox, which is a hammer, we try to solve everything. Everything looks like a nail, right? So that's what people are asking for, because that's what they know to ask for.
Yes.
Because what our business, that's what people in our industry have largely delivered. So the first thing is that's what someone asks for. We're going to ask some more questions to learn a little bit more, see if that's the right answer. But even if that's where we end up, we do everything that we can to make it more like a process and less like an event. Like in most cases, we work with clients encouraging them to include other components that in the world today people would call blended learning. I would just call learning, to make it more of a process. So it's more than just, I went to this thing, even if it was awesome, and then I left and I go back to the real world, and now what do I do? How do we help people integrate back in? How do we help support them when they get back in? Both things that we can do as their partner, but also things that we can encourage them to do internally, including getting the bosses of those folks involved so that they can provide feedback, provide coaching, know at least what people are trying to work on.
Yeah, I want to cover that with you later a bit about those bosses, the bosses of the bosses, right?
Okay, we can do that.
What is something that our audience today could implement that would make a difference?
Well, I think the first thing is quit thinking about events and start thinking about process. So in other words, what can we, some people say, well, we want to put some pre-work in before we send people to the workshop that we've developed, to which I would say great. But I would say, what are you doing to support them afterwards? What are you doing to encourage them to continue? What are you doing to take away barriers to people applying the things that they're learning? Because here's the thing, especially when we talk about leadership, everyone who comes to a workshop is already leading. Maybe for a long time, maybe for a short time. They come to a workshop and we encourage them, try to give them some ideas and inspire them to do some things differently. And they say, that's awesome. I would love to do some things differently. And then they go back to work. Now, think about your own life. That's awesome. I would love to exercise every day or 3 days a week. That's a great idea. Mm-hmm. Are you going and doing it? Well, not everybody is, right? They're just not, because we've got a habit already and we've got to help change the habit. So I think if you're an L&D professional, if you're an HR professional, if you're a trainer, what you need to be thinking about is getting past just skill set and getting at habit set. How do we help people actually change the habit? And how do we help support them in changing the habit? Because we all know that's hard.
Right. Thank you for that. Getting close to the end of this one, how can people learn more about you and your work? And do you have something like a free resource that you could give our listeners?
Well, we could take the whole 10 minutes just on that. KevinEikenberry.com. There's a blog there and lots of information there, including right on the homepage some free things. Let me just tell you, if you go to KevinEikenberry.com/13 days, we'll send you a series of lessons, one a day for 13 days on how to be a more remarkable leader. Each day, a video with a story from me, a leadership lesson, and an application tool that you can download for 13 days for free. KevinEikenberry.com/13 days. Other parts of our business, new leaders, budtoboss.com, remote leaders, remoteLeadershipInstitute.com. I could go on and on.
You have a lot of brands behind
Kevin. Yeah, so here's the
Eikenberry.
thing. If you liked this, you can reach out and connect with me on LinkedIn, anywhere else. If you can spell my name, Kevin Eikenberry, and I know Doug's going to give you all that information, you can find me. And please do reach out. See how we let us know what we can do to help, or even just to say hello.
Perfect. Hey, the last words are yours.
Well, here's what I would say. If you are a leader, if you are in leadership, learning and development, then you have a grave responsibility and an amazing opportunity. And so I know that whether you've got the leader hat on or the learning hat on, or both, that you've got a lot on your plate. And so I just want to give you a bit of a reminder of the fact that the work that you do is important, and it can have a huge impact. It's like throwing that pebble into the pond, and the ripple effect is huge. But here's the thing. What you're doing already is creating ripples. So let's make sure that we're creating the ripples that we want to create that will make the positive difference for others. That's
a great way to end our little rapid fire thing here today, Kevin. So thank you again for your time, and I look forward to learning more about you. I've been actually a fan from the cheap seats for many years with you, and I'm on your email list and things like that. I really like what you do. So thank you again. It's been an honor to spend time with you.
It's my pleasure. Thanks so much for having me.
You bet.